Hill project is a partnership project between Manchester City Council, Manchester Histories and Brighter Sound. Manchester Histories' role in the project is to coordinate the collection and dissemination of the archives and the historical element of the project, as well as the commission of urban projections to create some amazing digital projections which are going to be showcased alongside and in interaction with the music that's been commissioned and programmed through Brighter Sound.
So I have been working alongside our archivist Kevin to create a visual response to the material. So we've been looking at a lot of the archive material, so photographs, first-hand accounts, then first of all gauging people's opinions and thoughts on those and trying to draw that together. And then secondly, we've been taking those archives and trying to capture them or recapture them or explore them in different ways. So for example, we've been taking USB microscopes and looking at those original documentations and going in and capturing them as textures that can then feed into the visual content.
So we've been doing workshops with members of the public, looking at the archives, telling them the story of Manchester Hill and getting them to respond with their thoughts and their emotional responses.
It was very underexposed compared to other events that have happened, perhaps because it wasn't a success story. However, I think it's affected an awful lot of people, and there's a lot of people out there that it should affect that don't know about it. So I think the fact that the project's coming alive is just fantastic.
I think it's really important for people to realise that there is an archive that can be accessed, and why archives are important, because it tells somebody's hidden story.
I was touched by sort of like the personal sort of stories and the first-hand testimonies that we've read from people. I think it just reminds us that these things are not that long ago and that we shouldn't be forgetting.
The most interesting story I think today is about the guy who was leading it and trying to go into the analysis of where was he at, listening to the letter that he'd written to a friend, and then trying to sort of me trying to put myself in his position. I found that quite interesting.
It's the old story that with your own family history, you never ask the right questions when you're young enough to do it, when all the people are still there. It's the same with the First World War. It is important that we do keep the story going.
Well, it's certainly given a few people the opportunity to look at the First World War in a bit more depth. People have been able to use equipment, cameras, lights. They've set sets up on tables for the main event in April when it happens.
My involvement today is to bring a group of young writers to come on along and kind of get involved with the archive of the stories of the Manchester Hill soldiers, getting to understand the stories of what war is about, and also looking at ways that we can poetically respond to what happened in 1918.
The fog blistered like 3 winters of loss. Blindness came, all uncanny calm. To shoot into a fog is to shoot into nothing, and yet the fog shot back.
Well, this week we've been working with 13 amazing Manchester musicians and 5 incredible Manchester poets, creating music and spoken word, and at the moment we're just trying to knit it all together so that it fits into a through-written piece that will tell the story of Manchester Hill.
Make the noise of 1,000 men. The enemy was nothing more than loss of sight, and England felt like nothing
There is a heroism to survival, to surrender. Waxing lyric beneath a waning moon. No matter the combination, the next poem can never come too soon.
Because it falls to us to bring it here, to bring it home, to wait for fog to clear and show their faces, then to help them home, to welcome them, to set the tables, pour the drinks, open the doors for them, to listen for their steps on Eccles Road.
On Whitworth Street.
In Collyhurst.
On Oxford Road.
In Atkinson.
In Granby Road.
At Salford Quays.
On 18th Street.
In Harper Hay.
On China Lane.
In Albert Square.
On Ducey Street.
Cathedral Yard.